Okay, so we need to learn how to use a pH meter, and I need you to be really careful with these because they are expensive. So what a pH meter is it looks like this. It's just a probe that we will be ultimately hooking up. You can see here, this is the hookup into a little data port, which I will explain to you in class. But as part of your directions, you need to explain how to actually place the pH meter in and what you'll be doing. So first thing, you notice this little bottle of solution is attached to it. That keeps it safe when we're not using them. So what you're going to do is start by unscrewing that. I need you to be really careful because I need this solution that's in here. So what I ask you to do is to pull that out, it'll be a little drippy, and then to actually take the cap off and put it back on here. But be careful because it still can spill. You see there's still a hole in the top. So set that off to the side somewhere where it will be safe. Then you're going to take your pH probe and you're going to just sort of squirt down, there's a little ball in there, with some water just to get the solution off of it before you'll be ready to use it. Then you'll take your waste beaker and put it off to the side. Your Erlenmeyer will have your solution in it, and you're going to place your pH probe inside there. Now it's going to be a little tricky when you're carrying out your titration because that pH meter needs to stay inside that flask. So when you're doing your titration, you'll be holding your pH meter off to the side. You can add your solution, you can swirl it. Do not use the pH meter to stir with, just kind of hold it off to the side and then do your adding and subtracting, not subtracting, adding of your base into your solution and indicating that it'll be in there. You are going to measure the pH every milliliter of base that's added. So you want your directions to state to add 1 milliliter of base at a time until you're getting close to the end point. If the color is staying pretty consistent, you start to notice the pH on the pH meter is getting close to that range where we know where it's going to jump, then you want to start to slow down and be adding drop by drop. But in terms of your readings, when you get to that point where you've slowed down, I don't want you to measure at every drop. It'll take forever. So you can measure it every 0.3 milliliters. So you'll be measuring 1 milliliter the whole time until you're getting close, and then you'll be making measurements at 0.3 milliliters. Again, drop by drop, but only make the measurements every 0.3 milliliters onto your graph. Then, once you've reached the end point, you'll make your final reading. Then you're going to continue to add base because we want a full titration curve. So you'll continue to add base until the pH remains constant or until you've used all 50 milliliters of your base, whichever one comes first. And then that data will end up getting graphed onto your pH titration curve.